This podcast is sponsored by Relevant. It's a new iOS app to consolidate the media you want to see in a place you control. With Relevant, you stay up to date with things you're actually interested in. You tell Relevant what's relevant to you, and you'll be given all the content you love from all across the internet, all in one place. It's available on iOS devices and coming soon to Android. Be the first to know with Relevant.
What's up, everybody? It's the Poorly Edited Podcast. I'm your host, Chandler Davis. We're coming at you live from the WXLV radio station at El Tracy campus, the X, and it's Monday. It's a little earlier than usual.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's like 2 because the station's closing early today or something. I don't know. So we're here earlier, and we're going to be going from 2 to 4 today. I'm just kidding. No, we're just doing another hour. So yeah, who am I with?
My name is Coffee Guy. I have a cup of coffee for a change. It's been a long time. What? Don't look at me like
in
that.
a styrofoam cup, though. It doesn't have his mug. Like, yeah, it just doesn't seem as official.
I walked into the station and I smelled hazelnut coffee and I was like, oh man.
I really like hazelnut coffee.
You can have some out of a styrofoam cup.
Nah, I don't know about that.
It's good. It's like you don't even have to add cream or sugar because it already has other stuff mixed inside of it now. So
like there's already a chemical reaction taking place.
It's good. It's even turning a slightly different color.
The heated styrofoam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
It's good. Tastes good.
Right. What's your opinion on styrofoam?
What? My name's Styrofoam. Zach actually imparted some coffee knowledge on me this morning.
I did?
Really?
The pairing of coffee with muffins and other
What do you mean?
Sweet treats.
So, I don't know if this is interesting at all.
Oh, it is.
Well, you're the expert. That's why you're here.
Well, okay. So there are certain desserts that are coffee desserts, and there are certain desserts that aren't coffee desserts. So, like a coffee dessert is a nice, rich, like piece of cheesecake or a muffin that's, you know, at a specific density. There are coffee muffins and not coffee muffins.
Tea desserts.
Tea desserts.
Are completely different
sure.
than coffee desserts.
Yeah.
What's that? What's the difference?
I don't actually know. My name is Coffee Guy, not Tea Man. So.
Well, so
for the record, I told you this wasn't interesting. So.
But no, there was more. It was more about leaving wild berry muffins out, so they were the right level of moist.
Generally, you want to leave a nice coffee muffin out. Like you do when you buy it, you don't want to eat it right away. If you let it sit out for like a day or two, it'll get a little moist, and it tastes really good with coffee.
Are you a barista?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't.
My name is Barista Boy.
I didn't know there was a distinction actually. So
well, live and learn.
This is the new educational format of the show.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
That's why it's the direction we're going in.
We're not taking calls. If you call in and tell us a dessert, we'll tell you if it's good with coffee or not.
Yeah.
Is that the trivia game for the end of the show?
Yeah.
Is it a coffee dessert? Yeah.
My name's Patrick Lilly, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there he is.
We did it.
He showed up.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, earlier than some people.
Well, you know.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hey, man. When the going gets tough
the tough show up
late. So, you know how that is.
Yep. You must be pretty tough.
I'm very
10, 11, 12 minutes tough.
I'm like 20 times tough.
Wow.
At that rate. Wow. So, what happened to you guys this week? Is there anything exciting that went on? Good. That's not a good sign.
We went to a concert.
We did. We went to a concert Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
It's a band by the name of Terra Cura, I think. I really hope I didn't mess that up.
Is that the one Chad is in?
Yes. Chad Brown.
He'll be here eventually.
Chad Brown.
He'll be on the show soon, probably. Yeah. He's really cool. He's a great guy.
Actually, he was going to come on today, but just because of the
scheduling,
time change. Not his fault. He's working.
Yeah. Most people do.
Yeah.
So, like, not the people listening to this right now.
Yeah.
Or the people doing it.
Or the people. They're great. They put on an awesome performance. I don't even know how to really describe that music. It's very like.
It's jam.
It's really jammy. It was all improv, pretty much. They don't really rehearse their sets or anything.
That is the genre. Jam bands.
Yeah, it was definitely a jam band, and it was very had a lot of like kind of Native American influence and kind of ancient instrumentation, like pan flutes and all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, it was really cool.
Especially like they kept changing instruments and just kept playing like each other's instruments.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat.
Like we walked in and they were each like they had something. I'm like, this is what they're gonna play all night long. And they're like, yeah,
a normal expectation.
Yeah. And, you know, they just, it was a really small venue, so it was like super intimate. You know, it was really cool. It was Coffee House Without Limits is what the place was called in Allentown on 4th Street. And it was really great.
Did you get coffee?
I did get coffee.
What kind of coffee desserts
I got, they have a lot, actually. I saw they had falafel bites.
Ooh,
I wanted to get
those.
Sounds pretty good. I decided against it, though, because we had just ate. But yeah, I got caramel latte. It was really good.
Good.
Their coffee's really good. They get an A.
In my opinion.
Yeah, sure.
They get a very good.
It's very good. They gave me a mug that said "Cool Cat" on it and had a picture of a cat. So that got with a mullet. So that jumped them up a whole grade.
They gave
on
you
itself.
the mug? Or
No, they didn't give me the mug. Well, they that. What kind of business model would that be?
Well,
you know. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, we toured the art gallery. I have one less idea
to tell you about tonight then, I guess.
We toured their art gallery, which is insane building and everything.
Too?
Yeah, it's they have studio space there and stuff. Do you want to tell them? No, go ahead. No, please. Oh, by all means. They have like Josh, you remember the studio? Josh knows because Josh is the one that showed us the studio space back.
He just showed his camera
earlier this year that we were looking at possibly renting out. It's actually in this building. So yeah. I like made that connection as soon as I walked in. I was like, this is the place we were looking at months ago. Before before Lab 212 was even a thing.
When Storm was on the cusp of leaving.
Yeah.
I remember. Because you asked me what I thought about it, and we kind of like both had the same conclusion of this could be cool, but what do we do about Storm?
Yeah, we gotta get rid of him.
What do we do about Storm?
It was a very it was a very uncertain and scary time for everyone, I would say. But we're here now, and that's what matters. So it's even scarier. Yeah, than it was before. Coffee House Without Limits. But they actually said, so I talked to the girl working there that night, and because I think it'd be cool if we would maybe we would do something there. Put on some kind of performance. Sure. Maybe do the podcast live in front of an audience and do like a Q&A thing or something like that. So I talked to her about that. She said that they would totally be down. So
if only we had one of those.
Something to think about. What?
Well, podcast audience.
All right. I think we can fill up 2 seats. I'm just kidding.
My mom and dad aren't available.
Mine definitely aren't.
Yeah.
So.
And there was the Tamaqua event?
Yeah, we went to things
that was like 4 days ago. Wow,
things that don't seem like they're in the same week, but they actually all are. There was an event in my hometown, Tamaqua, and they had this arts
festival sort of
kind of thing. Yeah, showcasing artists from around the area and
a lot cooler than I think we all thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
the whole town. It was amazing.
Yeah. Because there were like tents set up everywhere throughout like a few blocks, and so you'd walk around the town and go to the different stations and like see the art and talk to the artists and kind of like a walking tour. And
tons of good food.
Yeah, there's a lot of food out.
The
Lion's Den, which is like this
restaurant and pop up.
Yeah, it's like a traveling thing.
It's a traveling thing.
It's a traveling thing.
Well, we're gonna be coming out with a video soon because I knew the people that were like hosting the event. I used to volunteer at the Tamaqua Arts Center, so
I did not know that.
We filmed the event and took pictures and stuff like that. So we're gonna be cutting that video together and like sending it in to them, so that they can post it on their social media and all that. And so you're gonna be able to see it, and what we did and how it was. It was really cool. We talked to some interesting people.
We met the mayor.
Yeah,
we met the mayor finally.
Played some large Jenga.
Played some abnormally large Jenga match.
Which I won.
Well, I didn't want to spoil it.
Oh, well.
There goes
now you don't have to watch the video.
I'm sorry. I have to step in here. It was a very, very close race, and I think that I put on a great game in performance. I tried my best. He cheated.
Didn't have it.
It did go on.
Very close.
It went on quite long. My battery was like on the cusp of dying for the last couple minutes, and I didn't think I'd get like the only shot that mattered, which was the Jenga tower falling. But
you did a good job.
Well,
good Jenga.
Maybe we were on the news for that.
We might have been. Channel 13 was there. Shout out to Channel 13. This episode's sponsored.
My favorite number.
Fisher.
Oh, that's bad luck.
I know someone that works there.
You know someone that works at Channel 13?
I know the news anchor, Marie McCall.
Good.
All right.
Perfect. Maybe we can get her on the show.
Perfect.
The anchor of Channel 13. So what else happened? What else is going on? You guys went to see. Some of you went to see Ocean's 8. I didn't. Lizzie saw it without. I went to work yesterday and she went and saw it without me.
You said.
So that's where we're at now in our relationship.
You didn't want to see it.
No.
Oh, the truth comes out.
Oh, that's a cover. You're just excusing your behavior.
You said I don't want to see that movie because it looks bad.
Yeah, but you know what looks worse? Hereditary. Definitely don't want to see that movie.
Snapchat ads are telling me otherwise. So.
Oh, that's how you know, right?
Yeah.
That's the indicator. How was Ocean's 8? For who saw it? Lizzie, Josh, Pat, did you see it?
No.
Good.
It was good.
I liked it too. It was nice.
Okay.
And that's the
sold.
review.
That's sold.
it. All right.
Now we got to go see it tomorrow.
Should we see a movie tomorrow?
Only $5.
I don't have time for that.
Do you guys want to see a movie tomorrow, audience? Come to the AMC in Allentown and watch a movie with us.
It's not an AMC.
Fan meetup. There's no fans.
Yeah.
There's no face.
So,
What?
So, the biggest thing probably going on right now, at least that's on my radar that I've been following, is definitely E3, the electronics. What is it actually?
Electronics Entertainment Expo, I believe.
Yes, that is exactly what it is. That's the 3 E's, hence the E3. Lizzie has really not enjoyed the coverage lately because it's a video game expo.
Wow.
But it's the biggest one of the year. You know, this is where all the games get announced for the next coming years out, and the hype train gets chugging.
There's some hot prospects on there.
There are some hot prospects. You know, honestly, I only was watching a little bit. I watch when I can every year because I follow a certain streamer that makes a lot of fun of the whole event, and it's very funny because I don't take it very seriously. And Josh actually brought his wind chimes with him. For anyone who heard, he has them in his pocket. But, you know, E3 tends to be kind of cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first year I've watched. And
Did you watch last night at the link I sent you?
Yeah, I did.
So funny.
Yeah.
He's so funny. That's bro team. But, yeah, so aside from actually laughing at all that stuff, I found a few things that I was actually interested in that got announced, and some unexpected things as well.
Unexpected?
Yeah.
Unexpected? What?
Like Halo.
Oh,
like
yeah.
them announcing a Halo project.
Or IHOP dropping the P. And it's now IHOP.
Yeah.
What?
Did you not know about this?
Did you know about this?
What's going on?
It's not IHOP.
It's been going on for like weeks, I think.
They've been teasing it. They dropped the P in IHOP.
No, they didn't drop it. They flipped it.
They
It's
did.
a
They
B
flipped
now.
it into a B.
It's a lowercase b.
IHOB?
Yeah, it's IHOP now.
Why?
Do you know what the B stands for?
No.
International House of Burgers.
What?
I didn't believe this, and Pat, I'm like, how are you sure? Like, I'm like, there's no way they dropped the pancakes and it's burgers. Now I don't believe this, and he's like, watch this video and tell me you don't believe it's burgers. And it gets to the point where they just like flash the word burgers over and over again.
This has to be a joke.
No.
I think they actually like rebranded everything.
Yep.
They're rebranding stores that are IHOB now.
But like that. Here's my thing. There's so many other burger joints that are chains. So why?
So it must be a moneymaker.
You know what? I have a quote from Wendy's on that.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Really?
Put it in here.
You have that like up. You have like that ready.
Yeah.
No.
So
does it look like he has it ready?
No.
I got it right here. All right.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Where
so
is
this?
it?
Is from
Hurry up.
the Wendy's Twitter account. Not really afraid of for burgers from a place that decided pancakes were too hard. So clearly not a warm welcome into the burger.
Wendy's Twitter is always fire. Like
it is, dude. Whoever runs Wendy's Twitter, Ms. Wendy, is very funny.
Is that Wendy Barron?
It's Wendy Barron.
It's Wendy Barron.
Shout out to Wendy Barron. You like Cracker Barrel, and that's wrong. So
I'm not sure I've been
You
there.
like
Here we
Red
go.
Robin.
Cracker
and that
Barrel is
wrong.
bad. Cracker Barrel is
Robin
like
trash.
All right,
Do you want your
we'll
mom
get
to
back
cook food
this
for you?
argument
Go to Cracker
after the
Barrel.
break. So we'll be right back. And we're back. With some
Cracker Barrel news.
Cracker Barrel news.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We just got told a very funny story about Cracker Barrel during the break, so if you're listening, that's why we were laughing. Anyway, there's a lot of cool stuff that's getting announced, as I said, at E3.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you guys were excited for?
Excited?
I don't get excited about anything.
More news about Cyberpunk 77 or whatever it's called.
Are you joking?
That game actually looks kind of cool.
So here's the thing. I want to enjoy. I really like CD Projekt Red.
Okay.
So I want it to be good.
Right.
That's about it.
Hey, why do you have doubts about Cyberpunk?
I don't. I just think it's funny because it's become such a meme.
Yeah.
Because like this game has been in the works and been talked about for like years and years and years. And the fact that it's
like in talks, like they don't actually, they're just like, by the way.
Yeah. And so it's just become it's a borderline Half-Life 3 kind of thing. Yeah. At this point, like, it's just become such a meme. Yeah. But I mean, I interested to see where it goes and what CD Projekt Red does with it, especially seeing the reception of Witcher 3,
right?
And how good of a reception that got, and how I think good of a title that was, just in quality, and the attention they gave.
Everything that they had been building, like the different aspects of The Witcher, came to a head at like the exact same time with The Witcher 3. Yeah. It was so good.
But you play Witcher 1, it does not hold up.
No.
So
even Witcher 2, which I think it's a good game and it looks really good for the time it came out. That's what I mean. Like everything that made The Witcher came to quote unquote perfection in Witcher 3. Like everything was at where it needed to be at that point.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk's been in development since May 2012. That's when it was announced.
Oh,
wow.
That's so
going
long.
On 6 years.
That's older than I am.
Well, how much resources were they really putting towards it? You know, until Witcher 3 finally came out.
This very short Wikipedia paragraph doesn't really inform me of that much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Perfect.
That's why you're our numbers guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is the just Cyberpunk really? Is that?
I have other stuff I wanted to talk about.
Did they announce any Path of Exile anything?
No.
Oh.
Path of Exile just came out with a really big content update. Yeah.
Chandler, Path of Exile is bigger than E3, all right?
Yeah, come on,
That's true.
Dude.
Yeah.
Get with it.
I'm pretty excited about this game called Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which
is that
sounds like
Samurai Dark Souls.
The Dark Souls thing?
It's made by From Software.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. There's like a ton. It's like, it looks like same kind of Dark Souls stuff. Like your dude can't actually die. He's very bad at dying. And in the trailer, like he dies in a fight and then comes back immediately, which is interesting. Because normally in Dark Souls, you go back to like a respawn point. But this one, he respawn like immediately.
That's interesting if that's going to be a game mechanic.
Even cooler is there's a grappling hook, which means there's going to be more like movement, which is pretty sweet. And like it's incorporated into fights too. Like you can counter certain abilities with a grappling hook and get like counterattacks off.
So what's stopping you from just throwing your corpse at something until you get past it? If you just respawn right away?
I'm sure there's going to be something that stops you.
I'm sold. I'm in. I'm buying it. I'll pre-order it. Do they have like a collector's edition?
I'm sure
I
they
can
do.
spend $120 on?
Although, I don't know if, Chandler, I feel like this one might have gone past you or something, but there's a Jedi game coming out.
That announcement was, come on. So Lizzie knows because the last few mornings I've woke up, it goes like, I wake up and I check my feed and I'm like, what? And I go and watch the trailer. Like that's been like probably the last 2 days. So I woke up and saw that, what is it?
Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. And I just saw that written in an IGN post. And I was like, "Bruh," and just groggily went to YouTube and like saw it wasn't a formal like trailer or anything. It was just so weird. It was one of the weirdest announcements so far that I've seen. Cause like the one caster is just sitting in the audience and then Vince Zampella's there, which he's a really cool guy. He worked on Call of Duty, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good match.
And she was talking to him and he's just like, yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff, and he's just being really awkward and slow, like talking really slow.
They usually are.
Which they usually are not very good at talking for some reason at the Talking Expo.
Right.
I don't know why. And
but they do every year.
They develop games for a living.
I guess.
Public speakers.
But they should hire someone else.
I mean, yeah, I'm not debating that.
Like,
but everyone's like surprised when they come out and they can't do public speaking very well. I'm like, what are you?
They're behind a desk for like
do that?
50 months, and then they come out and they have to talk to a crowd of people.
I feel like if Todd Howard can do it, then anybody can do it.
That's different.
It's true.
He's like the leader of Bethesda, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's the leader.
CEO.
He's wearing like
the Greybeards of Bethesda.
He's wearing like a general outfit with like the shoulder pauldrons and the
They don't make him in his size. He's scrawnier than we are.
That's not possible.
I don't know about that. I'm sitting here.
Yeah, I know. Meeting you, I finally met somebody scrawnier than I.
Yeah,
so
it makes you feel better, doesn't it?
And then I came into the picture.
No, I think you're still.
Really?
Well, you're taller than me. That shouldn't.
That
should
adds
that
to the
count?
scrawniness.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
See, when I look at Chandler, I see a scrawnier boy than when I look at you.
Yeah.
We'll
You just
talk about this later.
You're just tall and lanky. That's just a normal kind of archetype.
No, but like, all right, fine. You know, I'm over it.
Fight it. Go ahead.
Right, yeah,
Fine.
fine.
Like, no.
No, I'm not. I am scrawny.
I am strong.
But yeah, so Vincent Pell was like, yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And then that's all he said. He didn't explain anything. He's like, it's going to be really cool. I've seen the game. It looks really cool. And it's like, can we see the game, Vince? And he's like, no, you can't.
Does he even make the game? Or just like saw these screenshots looking good? You guys should check it out.
I've been walking through the office. They're doing something in there. Yeah.
They're definitely working. I know that. They're always clicking on their keyboards when I walk in. It's really exciting stuff, guys. So I love E3 is just such a tease every single year. And I almost don't know why I watch it, because it's like things like this
usually
where they're just saying things with absolutely no evidence or showing anything. It's the complete opposite of what it should be. It's all tell, no show, which is not a very good premise.
So here's a trailer we put together over the course of 9 months that shows no gameplay.
Right. Here's a trailer that just has the title come up in dramatic music.
Like the Doom Eternal trailer.
What is that? See, I didn't catch that one. What is
It's literally just, it just shows like Doomland. Everything's like destroyed.
Doomland.
There's demons everywhere. And then Doom Guy crushes a skull with his foot. And then that's it.
So is this a sequel to Doom?
I
is
still
this the
might buy
next
it, honestly.
Doom?
Yeah, I think so.
That makes sense. It's been long enough, right? When did Doom come out? 2016?
Maybe.
something
it's
like
been
that.
long.
Yeah.
It's been long enough to have a sequel now. Doom did really well. I was
2005. Wait,
no, that's a different game, Pat.
Time flies. When you're doing the podcast.
No, it was 2016.
I know.
Halfway through that, I'm like, there's no way it's 2005.
Halfway through that, you're like,
Well, yeah, the 20 is the same. It's the last two numbers.
That's a good
that
is
matter.
that how slow you read words?
Yeah, like 2.
You can pick it
0.
apart
Oh, no,
increment-
it was a 0.
Pat reads words by every single character like a computer.
Yeah.
He doesn't it's not as one thing. Yeah, I was really happy with how well Doom did when it came out.
Were you really happy?
Well, yeah, because I'm a big FPS player, and for them to revive a franchise that, for all intents and purposes, should not be alive now, just because it served its purpose back then, but I think everyone kind of grew out of that kind of style of an FPS, even though they created the genre.
Yeah.
But for them to come back and for them to be so fresh in the kind of gameplay and style that they're in, and not just trying to stay in its old roots, being like, well, we started, you should still like us, like they progressed and moved on, and in a really interesting way that I think made that game really good. So I'm actually excited to see the next one, and I think they're going to do very well. Bethesda,
Doom 2, Doomland. Bethesda did the same thing.
Bethesda makes Doom.
Yeah.
So they announced that yesterday, which is why I didn't see it.
They had a bunch of stuff that they're announcing.
Yeah, they did. I'm sitting right here.
Andrew WK?
Huh?
Andrew WK?
Yeah, Andrew WK opened up their panel last night for no reason. I was like, are they announcing, did they buy the Rock Band property? Like, why? Nothing says Bethesda Softworks like Andrew WK and metal music. Like, what? I just don't understand the connection they wanted to. But I think the funniest thing is that Andrew WK had the best time.
Oh, yeah.
During that performance.
The best time is always with Andrew WK.
Yeah.
I don't even know what he does. I just know that he's awesome. And
he's a musician. He had that show on Cartoon Network back in the day. You remember?
I remember.
Destroy, Build, Destroy? This
What?
episode of the podcast is sponsored by Destroy, Build, Destroy. I'm just kidding.
Cartoon Network.
By Cartoon
That
Network.
was such a weird
They're
show.
reviving.
It was a weird show.
What's that?
Courage the Cowardly Dog. I saw that. I saw the art for that, and it looks horrible.
Yeah.
It looks like, I think it's the Gumball. It looks like the Gumball style animation, and don't do that.
That old show, it didn't, it was a cartoon, so it looked the way it did, but it's not like it, it didn't look great. And then they were like, how about we cut the production value in half of the art department and just
Why don't we just make it look like a child drew it?
Yeah. I think that might be in. I think that's the trendy thing with cartoons at the moment. Because I watch a lot of cartoons.
Yeah, do you?
No.
Okay.
No.
I think it would be. I don't know. I'm not really on the side of like, don't do that. Just don't touch that at all. Leave it where it lie. And unless
that's why they're doing it.
Unless you're reviving it with all the original crew and like the main original creators of it.
They just film the same episodes.
No, not film the same episodes, but like the new batch, like they did with Samurai Jack, like was really cool. Good.
Yeah. So video games.
If they would do that with Samurai Jack in that kind of style, and revive these cartoons that way, then I think that's cool. But don't do this, please. Please don't do this. They did it to the Powerpuff Girls
if
too.
they didn't do it to Doom.
That's not the same thing, Pat.
What do you mean?
Yeah, but they're not ruining Doom.
Not yet. They could.
They're like they didn't dig Doom up and then just ruin it.
You don't know it until the final product's out, man.
I did know it. Because it is out.
Cat with the Dog's probably gonna be really bad.
It is. It's gonna be horrible. You know what else they announced though? Elder Scrolls 6.
They announced is
It's a teaser. That's you can't expect anything more than some computer generated fake render of
like
what the game is going to look like.
It's like a Blizzard cutscene.
The render isn't even real.
No, they're
well, it's pre-rendered.
Not.
It's usually done in engine, but it's not even like a good representation of what the engine and systems can handle because it's all like pre-rendered. So it's just it sucks. It's really annoying. There's very few things that come out of this expo where you're like, I know exactly what this game is going to be.
A lot of times, like in stuff with like Elder Scrolls 6, it's like they're like, next time we'll have stuff. That's all that is. It's coming. So that's cool,
we knew
I guess, right? Well, yeah, I mean, typically they start working on these games almost right away, as the last one is.
Except I don't think it's the case for this one.
No, I don't think it was either.
Now I have some speculation for this, because I mean, 76 just got announced before E3.
Yeah.
Fallout 76, which people were like, is this a sequel to Fallout 4, a full-fledged sequel, what have you? I don't think so.
No.
And I really don't think so.
Explained all that.
Because what?
About 76.
What is it?
It's an open world RPG.
Right.
Online.
RPG.
That's like Age of Conan. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that.
They're going in that direction of capitalizing on, because you have to think like when this game went into development, games like Age of Conan and Rust and stuff were really popular.
Yeah.
And so like, let's do that. But now it's shifted in a different direction at this point. So I'm kind of like, let's
make Battle Royale.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt if they put Battle Royale in this game.
I'm really concerned about PvP and Fallout because that's never been a thing that's happened in any other games.
And stuff like that.
It's just not really going to work. I mean, they're going to have to completely rebalance it for PvP.
Is it going to be like Fallout then?
Not really.
I mean,
what is going to be in the world? Which is honestly just the way that Bethesda slowly heads towards anyway. With each sequel, they just strip things out, but it's just still in the same world.
I mean, what makes Fallout though?
Post-nuclear apocalyptics with some old music and a specific sort of environment and atmosphere.
So is this
that's gonna come through.
Is this an MMO or a sandbox multiplayer
Sandbox multiplayer.
Okay.
It's like each map, there's not like millions of people. It's like
he said you could do everything solo.
Yeah, that too.
That's cool. Because I think that's important that they learned from Elder Scrolls Online of being like, they don't want this.
You can also, it's weird. You can there's nuclear sites on each map where you can launch nukes at other bases, which is crazy and seems kind of really annoying if you log off for the night and you come back.
No, that's like Metal Gear 5.
That's always those problems with those like Arc kind of games.
Yeah, my friends have been really into Age of Conan, and it seems like every day I log on, they're like, server got reset, our house is gone, or they keep rating.
That's how Rust is.
Servers.
I played Rust a ton, and that's exactly how that is. And it's not fun. It's not that fun.
Yeah.
Like after so many times, you're just like, I don't care.
You have to have like a private server where you can set times of when it's going to be operational.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to go to bed and you're going to wake up and everything's gone.
Yep.
So.
And it's okay the first 5 times, but after the 27th, it's just like, I don't want to play anymore. And I just uninstalled Rust. So
that's probably what it's going to be like then.
Yeah.
I'm sure
and I'm not
do
too
really
excited
well initially, but
I'm definitely more excited for Elder Scrolls 6. And I don't think 76 is going to have that much attention towards it in the long run because like you're gonna have them working on this game, so it's like how much
But
effort
ESO's
are
still
they?
popping. It's
Huh?
actually ESO's gotten better. I've heard.
ESOS has gotten better,
Yeah,
and
they've retconned all the old
Yeah.
lore, so people are
that's pretty
happy
cool.
about that.
Yeah.
Bethesda does that though more than
Yeah.
most other game
Even just
companies I
within
know.
their own main sort of.
Yeah, they just ruin their own lore and their own like story to things by
How-
accident.
How do you think Elder Scrolls 6 will be received?
What do you mean?
I think.
Do you mean
everyone's
like
gonna
how do
buy
I?
it and
What do I
people
think
hate
people are
it.
going to say about it coming? Like, are they going to be excited or not for this
No,
coming
they'll
out?
definitely be excited. Of course they will.
Well, I
but-
have no idea how it's gonna. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna like it. It's the game's bad.
It's
you
probably
know?
gonna be like everything else for people. Like a lot of people buy it because it's a really popular title, and then a lot of people are gonna hate it. Or like the vocal people are really gonna hate it because it's not like the other ones. And then
Well, this one's interesting because Skyrim was so universally loved, I would say, by casuals and even like the hardcores for the most part. I mean, the hardcores have some complaints about it that I totally understand. Like wolves are not that exciting and mythical that you are tantalized by being in that world. Like, whoa, I get to be in a world with bears and wolves and deer. That's so
pretty sweet.
crazy and different. But I think this is going to be interesting because to see the follow-up to something that was so universally loved and how it's going to be received, whether people are going to be like, it's too different from the one I really liked, or
That's always how it happens with these games.
Yeah.
So that's why like it's going to be really interesting
Yeah.
to watch because I think, you know, typically the reason, at least from my perspective, the reason the Elder Scrolls games, people love them so much is they get their hands on it and they've never experienced anything like that. I think that's changed a little bit since Skyrim came out.
Yeah.
But you pick up a game like that and you've never played anything like that before, and when it grabs you hard. And that is why Skyrim did so well, is because it was that plus the fact that it was, I don't really want to say streamlined, but it was put in a certain way so that an enormous audience could get to that point. I don't think there's anybody out there who loves Oblivion as much as one person loves Skyrim or vice versa. Like, I think it has less to do with the game because, I mean,
I know a lot of people who like Oblivion more than Skyrim.
Me too.
Yeah.
I absolutely do.
You do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't
More
think
of
I
a
played
don't
enough
think
of
Scrolls
Oblivion.
game, guys. Come on.
I don't think there's anybody out there who loves I love Skyrim more than I love Oblivion more than I think anybody loves Skyrim, but I don't think there's anybody out there who loves Skyrim more than I love Oblivion, if that makes sense.
You're saying Skyrim was for the masses.
No, not even
okay.
really.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Because there's a ceiling for those people, the people who really love Skyrim. There's kind of a ceiling of how much they can appreciate it, almost.
Sort of.
Yeah. I mean, but I think things like I'm kind of interested to see what they do with mods, because this is like
Why?
the second, or this is like the third major Bethesda release in like the current generation that they know they're releasing it in a climate of like modders are going to take their game and do all kinds of crazy stuff with it, and they have made steps.
They've always embraced that, though.
Kind of. The paid mods thing was a huge misstep.
Yeah, but I mean,
But they've embraced it and been like, oh, that's cool. They kind of added some mod support in Special Edition
they
4.
totally could have stopped this if they wanted to. At
No,
this
no,
point.
I don't think they're gonna stop it. I'm saying I want to see how far they go if they're gonna have like mod tools packaged with the game and stuff, like how integrated modding is going to be in Elder Scrolls 6, because you think like they had the idea for the kind of mod support to be integrated kind of after Fallout 4 had already been released, you know, and a little bit kind of during development, but I'm sure it was kind of too late almost to really root it in. And then with Special Edition it was kind of tacked on. So I want to see like them starting this project from the ground up, how much they want to embed that, you know, into this game. Because I think depending on that, like this could be even bigger than Skyrim, you know, if they do it right in that sense and make it a platform to be expanded upon indefinitely, as opposed to just something that's just going to be another sequel that they're going to have to top in another 3 years or something. It's like make 6 the game that people are going to be playing for the next 10 years, you know, like a Gary's mod or something. What?
Like Skyrim.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
Like they already did it.
yeah, And they did a good job making that a platform. And I think that if they can do that even bigger with this one, it's like the sky's the limit, you know?
But they could also go the other way and just make it more accessible. And like they did with Fallout 4, they went from 3 to 4. There used to be like a ton of dialogue options you can go with, and now it's just like one of 4. They could do that and go that way and make it more accessible so that people can play it a lot.
That's just the road that they go down. That's typically what they do, just in small increments. And that's one of the things that people get so upset about. But they don't just do it in dialogue. It's done in a lot of different aspects within the game itself. And that's always been one of the biggest things that people are upset about. And, you know, unless they stop going down that road, then there's going to be this enormous percentage, the same percentage of people that is now such a much larger number because of Skyrim's success that are going to be angry about it. Like, if it's just 50% of the game's fans each time, 50% of people who play Skyrim is a lot bigger than Oblivion was. So that's why I think just such a larger number of people aren't going to like it.
Maybe. We're going to go to a break quick. We'll come back.
Good luck.
More
Good luck
Elder
during the
Scrolls
break.
6 talk.
Yeah, this is the Elder Scrolls 6 podcast.
Yep.
Coming at you live.
And we're back.
That was the shortest break we've ever had.
Same length.
That was really short, Pat. Why are you shortening the breaks every time? Are you trying to break your record? Your world record for how
world
short?
record.
And we're back.
And we're back. So I was looking at the rest of the list for E3 of what got announced because I haven't gotten to see all of it. But one thing I'm really excited for is Halo Infinite got announced.
What about it?
I don't know. Well, there's a lot I'm excited about. I'm excited about it being on PC, like a Halo title being on PC.
Is that confirmed?
Yes.
Okay.
For Windows 10 and Xbox, which Microsoft has been making strides to kind of integrate and bridge the gap between the two with crossplay. So like you buy it on Xbox One and you can just download it and play it on your PC if you want. Is kind of their vision for what they want every game to support eventually, which I think this is going to be that case, you know, as well. So after years and years and years of people saying they want Halo official, like a big game on the PC, they're finally doing it. There hasn't been a release since Halo 2 on the Vista operating system.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
It was a good one, but it's been a quick minute. So they kind of dipped their toe in the water with Halo 5 Forge, which I played a little bit of, which was just the Forge mode of Halo 5 on PC, but it was gutted, and, you know, obviously there's a limited amount you could do with that. And so now they're coming out with Infinite, which seems like, you know, it's not Halo 6. So I think it's important that they were making a distinction here, because it kind of seems to me like this is going to be their response and call to action to the two major issues with the series right now, which is people are starting to care less because they didn't like 5 and 4 as much as they liked, you know, the others, because 343 sucks. And then the other one is the PC thing of not having a Halo game on PC. So this seems almost like it's a response to both those issues, and it's like, okay, well, let's get away from what was going on with Guardians, Halo 5 Guardians, and let's go a different route. You know, this isn't Halo 6, it's something else, and it's something on its own a little more that they can more easily distinguish from their previous work that they've done. Now, the trailer was actually more of a trailer than we've seen from some of these other announcements.
Pretty much anything I think I looked at.
Yeah, which I really respect.
It's good.
It doesn't tell. Well,
it doesn't tell you anything.
There's some things you can extrapolate. I can kind of
let me tell you my notes.
Infer some things about it.
There are a Halo ring.
Right.
There's some rhinos.
Okay.
Master Chief helmet.
Okay.
That's it. End scene. There's Marines. There's a flare.
I think it's interesting that, well, there's a few things technically to look at that is interesting. This is made on finally a new engine called the Slip Space engine. So it's kind of a dual announcement, because they're announcing like there's this new Halo game. Also, we're doing it with a whole new engine, which is big because every Halo game that's come out so far has been operating on a modified version of the original engine they made for Halo 1,
Really?
which is the Blam engine.
I didn't know that.
So it's definitely time, and they're pulling the trigger on that. And so what they will be able to do with this, I think, is really exciting, because it really does open up infinite possibilities almost. But I think there's some interesting things to. I like the art style of the engine is cool looking,
Yeah, it didn't look bad.
It doesn't look bad. It looks almost like an animated movie or something. I don't know. It's kind of very rigid and defined, all the images and the style of everything. And I think it's interesting that like the Chief is on this weird, it feels pretty open world almost. It's kind of the picture, I think. If there's any message to take away from what they're showing in the video clips, is that it should be what you take away from it. Because like you think of the world that it's put in, and showing like the warthog driving in the forest and stuff, this big pulled back shot and these sweeping vistas and stuff. It's like, and the title's called Infinite.
Could that be good?
Could that be? I think it could be really good. I think that's something that me and my friends always talked about when we were really into Halo, of like what would be, like when Forge World was a thing in Halo Reach. It was like, I wish Forge World would be so much bigger, because it being just as big as it was super sick.
Yeah.
And it lent so many interesting possibilities of game types and cool stuff to do in custom games and Forge. And so if they expanded upon that more, and they've really been toying with it, in even like 5 and stuff, and 4, they kept doing that, where they had entire maps that were huge just for forging. They were kind of blank slates almost. So it's like, if they're building this new engine to handle a huge load like that, in a really big sandboxy kind of world, the things that could be done there is so interesting. And so I'm really excited to see where that goes. And I'll probably definitely be buying this game, because I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to give them a chance and say the last 2 are mulligans.
What do you want out of it?
They've shown you basically nothing at this point. You're already on board.
Because if this was Halo 6, and if this was, it just seems like they're trying very hard to say, no, this is different. And we're doing something different on purpose, because they could easily just make Halo 6 and just churn them out, every couple of years.
Or it could just be like a garbage open world spinoff.
It could be something that's totally not even Halo, but I don't know. Like Halo Wars 2 just came out, so I don't think it's going to be something that drastically crazy.
I feel like if you want to do open world, you do have to push those boundaries a little bit, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like push the boundaries up. Well, but that's where games are going now. You look at something like Anthem, which we finally just saw more gameplay of this at this expo, which I think is really cool. I might be the minority there saying that Anthem looks cool, but I'm a huge fan of BioWare.
It's also EA, though. Everybody's very hesitant about EA.
I'm very hesitant about EA. I didn't play Battlefront 2 still to this day because of what EA did to it, even though I love Star Wars. So, I am hesitant, but it is BioWare. And like EA helmed Mass Effect with BioWare, and I loved that. So
what about, what was it even called, Andromeda?
Andromeda was horrible.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that was EA's fault. As well. So yeah, it's weird, and I really am not sure where it's going to go. It kind of does seem like it could suffer from the same kind of Destiny-like symptoms of, you think it's going to be way more expansive than it is, and you can do way more in it, but then you get there and it's kind of like not as crazy as you were expecting, not as huge and open as it seemed. And it kind of seems like Anthem might do that as well, but I hope it doesn't. I hope that we're finally very soon going to see these games that so fervently try to push that they're open world, and like there's the possibilities are endless of like what you can do and stuff, and there's so much to do, that finally actually comes to fruition. Like that we're at the point technologically where we can deliver on that, instead of just empty promises like a No Man's Sky or something, like, and The Witcher 3 was a pretty decent example of like actually delivering on the expectation of what the kind of environment they were trying to build for that. So I hope that that's where we're getting to the point where these developers can actually do and pull off the things they want, as opposed to just make it feel kind of just seem like it's this more expansive thing than it really is, and then just lying to everybody about it so they buy it. You know, I don't know.
We got one more hot scoop before we cut to a break.
It's a hot scoop. Hit me.
Zach informed me
I have no idea what's going to happen.
there's a job listing on Blizzard website for an artist for Diablo 4.
Oh yeah,
Or unannounced Diablo
yeah.
project.
I
So Diablo 4 is going to be the best game ever.
I think I told. No, I was talking to someone else about it. I forgot. Yeah, I heard about that a few days ago. That was that's not even an E3 thing. That
No,
was just
that's
something
not.
that people found out about. Yeah, so it seems like it's going to be a new. There's speculation it could be a Diablo remastered title, which I doubt because they just released Diablo 1. Was it 2 on BattleNet again?
What are you talking
Is
about?
that true?
Probably
StarCraft
one.
Remastered came
StarCraft,
out.
Yeah.
No, StarCraft Remastered came out, but I thought that not a remastered Diablo 2. They just
Oh, they just
supported
released
on
it? Okay.
BNet again. I think I might be
no,
wrong.
it's still on BNet. There's actually a ladder reset happening soon.
On
Really?
Diablo
Like
2.
this weekend. Yeah, they still reset the ladder.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
I guess they probably just hit a button.
yeah. There's one guy. That's his job at Blizzard
They have like the pecking bird or whatever that just goes up and down.
with the jelly. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I think it's going to be a new Diablo title. I don't really see why they'd be. It's really not in the vein of Diablo to retread old ground and remaster something like that, especially because the
I mean,
games
they
are
just
so
did it with
kind of
StarCraft,
similar. What?
They just did it with StarCraft though, and I wouldn't have thought that would be a thing.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, like, you know, you look at StarCraft and that was, it's like culturally, it was absolutely enormous,
Yeah.
and specifically in specific areas of the world, and for competitive gaming and where that led to. But then, like, D2 did define a genre, so they could do it. Why not? I'd probably play it.
I'd probably play it too, except for such good things, but I came like so late to that
Yeah.
I've never played D2.
Well, the reason I don't think they're going to do that with the remaster is because it's to such a select audience. It's definitely, I don't think it's going to bring new people on as much as it's just going to, because the difference between a StarCraft remaster compared to like a StarCraft 2 is that the RTS hasn't changed that drastically, you know? So that
If at all.
If at all. So a translation there, it makes sense because it's like if you know StarCraft 2, you can still enjoy that even if that wasn't something you grew up on. But with Diablo 2,
ARPGs have.
yeah, it's like Diablo 2 to 3 even just is
Yeah.
insanely different in,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
in flow, in the speed of gameplay,
Speed of gameplay.
and everything like that. The menuing, like the inventory system, like there's so many things that are just totally overhauled in 3. They're almost unrecognizable just at their core mechanics, you know. So yeah, I'm leaning more towards the Diablo 5. I think they have the funding, definitely. I think
You're
they
just
have the
going right to
manpower.
5, you're skipping 4?
Or yeah, they're going
Oh my,
straight to
that's
Diablo.
ambitious.
It's because I just read Gears of War 5 on my phone, and yeah,
We're going to get to a break quick.
Diablo 4 after the break.
Yeah, after
the
We're
break.
gonna see it. We're gonna play it.
First glimpse, Diablo
Live.
4 after the break. And we're back. We're gonna.
Cool. What are we doing?
So the point of E3 is to get you excited, like sell you on games, right? So I'm gonna see how they're doing. So I'm gonna go down a list of titles that have been announced.
Ooh,
and
what if
you
we
guys-
call it Excited or E3'd?
So I'm gonna go down a list of titles I found. You guys can tell me if you're gonna buy it, if you're not. I'm gonna have 3 ratings: buy, not buy, or like just
That's not
interested. Just interested.
Okay, fine.
Is that all right?
Sure.
Is
What
that
about
allowed?
Excited or E3?
Excited?
How E3 are you on the E3 scale?
And just give me a little bit behind your answer. So obviously, first one, Diablo 4. I think it's a pretty unanimous buy from everybody.
I
No.
feel scared about the buy thing. We're just locking
Answer
it
the
down
question.
before I even see a trailer.
You're gonna give me money after the show.
Yeah.
Your credit card information.
At the door, we'll take the.
So that's a buy for Diablo 4.
Here,
Halo
so
Infinite.
let me put it this way.
Let me break this down.
Let me put it this way.
This one was a
if-
joke. They didn't announce anything.
So if,
But we know it's coming.
it will be very easy for me to tell whether or not I'm going to like this game. So once we actually get some real details and some real gameplay footage of it, It'll be very easy for me to tell if I'm going to buy it. Because if it's anything like Diablo 3, I'm not going to buy it.
Why?
Because I didn't like Diablo 3.
What?
Yeah, we don't have time for this.
All right. I'm really excited. That's probably the most excited announcement. The most excited I am about an announcement that's happened at E3.
Sounds like a buy to me.
Sure.
I'm interested. I'm not going to buy it.
I don't think you're going to buy it. I don't think anyone's going to buy it.
I'm interested. No one's going to buy it. Battlefield
Tweet Chandler 500,000 times.
I'm interested. I really liked Battlefield 1. There's some concerns I have about 5 and how it seems to not take as seriously the source material of an actual world war. It just seems more like a wacky, zany take on...
Dude, Battlefield 1, people were riding on horses the first day. They were like crouched on horses with machine guns and flamethrowers running around.
Yes, I'm not saying Battlefield 1 was an insanely... it's not a realistic interpretation, but I think you can maybe get away with some authenticity in terms of how they treated covering that war in that game. Obviously it's a Battlefield game and it's not meant for hardcore war enthusiasts or anything like that. It's made to like sell games to
That's for
your
the Civil
dad.
War game by the History Channel.
Yeah, that game's real good. So
you're interested? You're going to buy it?
I'm interested in Battlefield 5.
I'm not interested.
Not interested.
Yeah.
Got it.
Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Not interested.
I didn't play the last two, so I feel like it's remiss of me to say that I'm interested in this one. I'm interested in playing all of them, though. I just haven't gotten around to it because I like Wolfenstein as well.
Really fun.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it.
I've heard good things about that series in general.
That's
At
another
least the older games.
That's another example of a series that should not have worked getting revived. Because it's just like, why would that work? And they made it good.
Because it's completely different.
It's Bethesda, man. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. I'm interested, not yet. IHOB.
Oh, definitely interested.
I'm interested.
I will definitely go to Well,
we should go there as soon as
can we just go there and order pancakes?
That's funny.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
They just spent all this money on rebranding, and you're gonna go there and order.
They spent all this money to flip. They just took a crane and like flipped it. They didn't even get a new one. They just flipped the P.
Right,
crane made out of pancakes.
Sea of Solitude. It was on the list. I mean, we didn't get to talk about it.
Good.
It's like an artsy game about like depression and this like girls like fighting herself. I don't know. I'm interested.
Is it like Limbo?
Looks cool.
10 out of
3D
10.
though. 10 out of 10. All right. Zach.
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe.
Cuphead expansion.
Oh, what is that?
New island, new weapons, new character. That's about it. You have
That's
to play
cool.
as the lady you find in the crypts, and you have to defend from ghosts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Mrs. Cup.
Ms. Cup.
Miss Chalice.
Okay.
Not for long.
All right. So is that a buy?
No.
It's a buy. You got one buy?
I haven't beaten
I haven't
the
either.
Cuphead
I
yet,
thought you
so I
liked
have to
Cuphead.
do that. I do like it. I just don't have time to beat it.
What about
I'm
you,
not
Zach?
interested. I'm not going to play
All
it.
right,
Wow.
I'm interested.
That's mean.
Rage
Well,
2.
I'm interested. I'm not going to buy it.
Rage 2, I just watched the full thing of that last night, and I think I'm not really that excited for that at all.
I'm
It
interested.
looks like cool. It looks like Bulletstorm. It reminds me a lot of Bulletstorm, but not enough.
Yeah, I'm interested. I want to see how those mechanics, the combat mechanics seem really weird. It looks like he was teleporting to explosions or something.
Yeah, I
I
have
don't know.
no idea what's
It was really
going on.
bizarre. I'd like to see more of that. I'm interested.
I know very little about the game. I don't even know. Probably not interested.
All right. Fallout 76.
Not interested.
I'm interested to see what happens. I'm not actually interested in
Yeah,
playing
it's
it.
a good, like, grab some popcorn. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see the community and what comes around it, but I'm not interested in, if it is going to be like an Age of Conan or Rust, I'm not interested.
That's going to be a train wreck.
Yeah.
I'm interested. I might buy it. I don't know. It does seem.
You're a
It
sucker.
does seem really. No,
You
it
are
does
a
seem like
sucker.
I have a lot of large concerns, but it does seem like fun.
I'm very scared, but I think I'll buy
It seems like if I went in there with FPS experience previously, I would dominate all the people who are like, "It's a Fallout game," and then I
No.
could just get everything.
No.
Cyberpunk 2077.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I just want to.
I'm buying it. I'm buying it.
That's another thing. I'm just excited to see what happens. Like, I just want to watch, even if I don't get to play it.
The Witcher 3 did so well. It's still like consistently one of the most bought games like 3 years later. Please be good.
I'm gonna lock in my buy right now.
Yeah. No,
Lock
neither
it in
am
your
I.
pre-ordering?
Stop. I'm coming.
Nice.
Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Just the fact that it's from software, I think that alone, the only game I've put any time into or put any time aside for has been Dark Souls Remastered. So FromSoft has my heart, and I think I'll definitely play this game as long as it's not PS4 exclusive.
That's a good
Don't
question.
do
I didn't
that
ask.
again.
I didn't even look.
Please don't do
Probably
that
not.
again.
I'm gonna buy it. What about you?
No, not
Alright.
my kind of game.
You're scared.
Unfortunately.
Jedi Fallen Order.
I'm so excited.
Potentially,
No
yeah,
idea
man.
what it is because
No
all I
idea what
heard
it
was
is.
words. I didn't even get a teaser that was just the title. I just got words.
Yeah.
like that's not even.
You got a dude sitting in the audience.
Yeah,
He didn't even
It's
bring him
like-
up on stage.
He
They
didn't even
went
look
to
like he
him.
worked for anyone. He's like, I heard about this. And
like,
like, this is news now.
I got this lucky ticket and this is my seat. You do announce a game.
You get to announce Star Wars.
Well, no, go ahead.
No.
Did you even say anything?
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like it to be good. Why can't they make a good Star Wars game for a change, right?
All right.
Come on.
So that's a buy. Chandler's buying it. I'll buy
Maybe.
it. All right.
If it's
3
good.
buys.
If
Metro
if
Exodus.
They don't EA it too
Don't know
big.
what that is.
That's cool. It looks cool. Metro, good, very good series. So
Is it?
it's exciting.
Okay.
Yeah, play them.
Yeah.
Go ahead if you like first-person shooters
What
that
about
are cool.
Forza Horizons 4?
Not on my list. That's not interesting.
Wait, Horizons? I like Horizons more than Motorsport by a marginal
Okay.
amount.
See, I
So-
have not played Horizons. I've played those kinds of racing games. I prefer the racing simulators.
Horizon is like the
So-
cool
Yeah.
stepdad
Yeah. Is it
of
hard?
the Forza. No,
Like
What do you mean?
motorsport is hard?
Motorsport's just more like a dry kind of like this is cars
Yeah.
driving racing.
You actually have to slow down.
But Horizon, like the whole shtick with
See, I like the slowing down and the shifting. Like, I really like the racing simulator thing.
Zach
I
has
got
like
good
a
at
whole
that.
thing in his house where it's like the
sim, yeah.
the sim. He has like the steering
could
wheel.
go to
and
one
everything.
of
No,
those.
if you guys have one, I'll take it off your hands.
We could go to one. There's a place in Allentown that has that kind of setup.
Or we could just drive our
That's
cars
true.
around.
That's not fun.
We could just street race back where I live.
Street race so much.
Just drag race, dude.
Elder Scrolls 6.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited
it's-
to
it's-
waste 1,000 more hours of my life on
It's
an
going
Elder
to be a
Scrolls.
long time before I spend $60 on another game by Bethesda.
Wow. Why? Wait, why?
Wait, how did they wrong you?
What did they do?
We don't have time for this.
Fallout
Like,
4.
definitely Fallout 4 and Skyrim I didn't like much
And
at all.
Skyrim?
I tried really hard.
I can understand
to
Fallout 4.
I tried really hard to like Skyrim. We don't have time for
You're
this. believe
jaded.
me.
You're jaded. We just learned something today.
That's all I had.
Good.
So
Perfect. Did I win?
There was
It
other stuff.
sounds
What
like I
about
won.
what
I
about
felt
Gear-
like I was doing good.
Gears 5 and
Gears
Gears
5.
Tactics?
Gears Tactic. I
Those
didn't
two
get into
different
that
things?
myself
Yeah, they
onto.
are two different things.
Okay.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Elder Scrolls Blades.
What is
No,
that?
It's a mobile
free
game.
mobile.
They tried
Elder
this
Scrolls game.
before years ago. Didn't work. Before mobile gaming was really even a thing.
Before
tried it.
phones.
What do they do?
I think it was called Red Guard. Don't remember.
On
Oh
phones?
my god, that's
Yeah.
so long ago. Wow. That was for. Oh wow.
It was for something weird. It was not like
It
a
was.
PC or a console
It
game. It
was.
was something strange.
Red Guard was very
Almost
very
like Troll Boy?
weird.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like an Elder Scrolls game, really.
No.
It was just kind of like an on rails adventure game.
I really think it was like your flip phone, like texting game, sort of
Yeah,
weird
it's
thing
so
like that. It was
weird.
strange.
Huh.
All right.
right.
So I think the real winner here is
Battletoads.
Battletoads.
Battletoads
Yeah,
got
Battletoads
announced.
could be
wins.
cool.
I'm buying it. All right.
I'm not.
Any
Alright.
closing
It's gonna be like the
thoughts?
Dark Souls of Battletoads.
Go check us out, Lab 212 on everything, YouTube channel. We got additional content besides the podcast. Got some Twitch highlight stream stuff going on.
A lot of Twitch stuff.
Vlogs,
Twitch stuff.
BTS,
Yeah.
gaming videos soon.
Pat's coming out with his new video soon. Josh is coming out with a new video soon. 2 new shows probably starting this week.
Oh, there it is, folks.
Yeah. It's gonna be super cool. Go check out Crazy Yates soon. He's gonna be coming out with a
got
new
some
track
music.
very, very shortly that we're gonna be uploading. It's gonna be sick. And yeah, check us out on everything else. Check out the live streams every day of the business week.
Every day.
Every day.
If I have time today.
If Pat has time, which he won't.
You can now
My time
donate to
got
the.
robbed.
You can now donate to the Please Let the WXLV Construction Happen Faster Fund. Because
we're still here.
A new studio would be cool, right?
Yeah.
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 All right.
right.
I guess that's it.
Good job.
Good job.
Good luck. Good job, guys. Everyone
job.
listening. Good job.
Thanks for
Keep
listening. We'll be back next week.
We'll be back. See you, Josh.
Bye, Josh.
Bye,
Bye.
Josh.